Candace wrote a book, Molecules of Emotion. Beautiful book. Molecules of Emotion. Please get that book and read it. Candace Pert, C-A-N-D-A-C-E-P-E-R-T is her name, and read that book. And there's a beautiful sentence I'll tell you. Time will come when you get a headache, you don't look for a pill, instead sit in one place and elevate your consciousness to the level where your own brain produces enough opioids to kill your pain. Full stop. What a beautiful thing. And that is the future of medicine, my dear friends. But we have to take it out, de-link it from money. Unless you de-link medicine from money, this medicine will kill mankind. I don't know how many of you have read this beautiful article. If you have not, read it in the Google free. It's called Death by Medicine. There are 5 authors. The first author's name is Gary Null, G-A-R-Y-N-U-L-L. Please read that. You will get a shock of your life that we are the leaders of death in the world, followed by cancer low down and heart attack much lower down. On the top of the list, in a country where we think there are so much checks and balances, if it could happen, you horrified, you take the audit in India, my God, you will be shocked. That is why we went to the IOM, convinced them that the future of health definition should not have absence of disease, because there is nobody who has no disease. If I now scan all of you with the TBS, all of us will have not one cancer, 10 to 15 cancers. But they don't become cancers, they all die. When do they die? When you have a good mind and when you want to help someone, cancer cannot grow in you. But when you eat a lot, like a pig, and hate everyone, cancers grow like a tree. And that's what happens. And it's in the mind. Everything is in the mind. And where is the mind? Never mind. And the mind is everywhere. It's in my hand. And who is the mind? For every 9 cells of germs in my body, I have 1 cell of mine. In your body, for every single cell of yours, you have 9 germ cells. In your own genome, we are saying we are human genome, we know everything, we are doing genetic engineering, we will do stem cell. We don't even know one by one a millionth of a genome, because genome contains 23,000 human genes and 2.5 trillion germ genes. Germinomes, metabolomes, virinomes, all of them put together, the metagenome is all germs, and I have written an article, you read that, a simple article called Germs Are Us. Toys Are Us you have seen, no? So I wrote Germs Are Us. We are germs. So when I say, did your father have diabetes? Yes, sir. Oh, then you become a diabetic. With fear itself, the sugar will go up. Your father's diabetes has nothing to do with you. Because your father knew that the relationship is 1 in a million zeros 1. But you may be a diabetic if the germs is a diabetic. So you are a germ's child. And these germs are our friends. We have come one full circle from Pasteur. Louis Pasteur said, germs kill. And then they say, germ theory was born, and that's why mankind is alive. It was a great day for medicine, and antibiotics were ran. Today it's a very sad day for medicine, because there are 500 antibiotic molecules. They cannot even touch some of the germs which have grown in the hospital called superbugs. And then do you know how we kill it? When Morarji Desai used to drink his own urine, we used to laugh at him. Did you laugh? You also must have laughed. Because most of us are RNIs, you know RNI, resident non-Indians. Most of us live here, think with American mind. Now, America, do you know what they are doing? Because patients are dying like flies in the intensive care unit with nosocomial infections. One Professor Chu in Johns Hopkins Hospital, she went into veterinary science. In the veterinary science for hundreds of years, infections were treated not by the present vets who use antibiotics. In the olden days, vets, cow's infection was used by cow dung. This girl did a bold thing. The patient was dying of a simple Clostridium difficile infection. And otherwise the patient was very healthy. So she gave the shit of her patient's own mother, 250 shit, emulsified, put it in a tube and put it in the mouth. By evening the patient became all right. Now for severe infection, the treatment is, in American jargon, fecal transplant. Fecal transplant. Morarji Desai was drinking urine. Today it's fecal transplant. Now America says human urine has so much of califerinins and so much of immune boosters that it could be treatment. And cow's urine is now patented for treatment. as an immune booster. One day I was with the central minister. Mr. was used to be my patient. So he one day told me, Professor Hegde, shall I tell you a secret? I said, go ahead. You can tell it to the world, I don't care, he said. I said, okay. He was admitted with what is called ulcerative colitis. You must have heard of it, which means we don't know anything about it. It's called idiopathic disease. We are very happy about this disease. Idiopathic means I am an idiot. But that idiopathic is in Latin and I am an idiot in simple English. I am an idiot, I don't know. And he was having 20 loose motions of blood every day and lost about 20 kilograms, and he was admitted in intensive care unit in the All India Institute. One day Morarji Desai's Prime Minister came to see him. He told him, you bloody fool, on the first day itself I told you to drink your urine, you forgot. Now anyway you are dying, drink your urine, he said. And he says the next morning he drank because he wanted to survive. One day drinking, 20 became 18. 2 day drinking, cut short, 10 days drinking, he went home. And he is alive now because somebody has now removed a part of his brain intentional to make him a vegetable, but he is still alive. He is about 76, 77, 78. I have another chief minister friend of mine. One day he told me, Professor Hegde, do you know your friend? So and so, yes. He was our party chief. And I had an eczema. My father was a doctor. I'm an engineer. But this eczema will not go. I was looking so ugly, I couldn't face the world. One day, your friend, that minister, told me, hey, drink your urine. I tell you, I faithfully do that even today. I have no disease at all. I'm so fine. Both these ministers saying, we'll give you money, you do a research. But I have done my research already because I have a lot of volunteers, don't worry. And we have shown how important it is. I had a patient recently who had a heart attack and he came to me. He survived somehow or other. Not because of me, they all survived because of themselves. Now this man had ulcerative colitis. So his gastroenterologist gave him sulfapyrazine, and next day he had Stevens-Johnson syndrome. He was almost dying, kidney failure, whole body was bloated, his skin and heart failure came, and he became really bad. So his wife was crying, doctor, heart attack you saved him, but with this simple diarrhea he is dying. So I told her, look, if he is dying, definitely ask him to drink his urine. He became all right in a week's time. The whole thing stopped. So we have, little do we see nature that is ours. Because the world is too much with us, money is too much with us. This is what our friend Wordsworth, William Wordsworth wrote after the Industrial Revolution. The world is too much with us, late and soon. Getting and spending, we seem to have lost our powers. Little do we see in nature that is ours. We have sold our soul, a sordid boon. Friends, don't sell your soul to the devil. Who is the soul? Now we know where the soul is. Here is this quantum physicist who is an astrophysicist. His name is Robert Lanza. And Lanza has found that the soul leaving the body. How many of you have read that beautiful book called H.W. Wells written a book called Holes in the Wall? If you have not read, read it. H.W. Wells, a fascinating book called Holes in the Wall. Or a book called Bridge on San Luis Rey. Bridge on San Luis Rey. It's a 1927 Penguin classic written by a man called Thornton Wilder, an American writer, and in which he says how there are two worlds, the world of the living and the world of the dead, connected by a bridge of human love. Now, multiverse is a theory of Lanza, multi-universes, and our Sanatana Dharma, especially the Upanishads, talk about multiple universes so beautifully. And what the Upanishads talk is quantum physics. Asino vrajati duram shayano jati sarvata is what an electron is. Nobody has described the electron as well as Upanishads. That is why I tell people, see, ultimately, Indian philosophy is the greatest philosophy. Indian philosophy doesn't mean Hindu philosophy. There is nothing called a Hindu religion. It's Sanatana Dharma, ageless religion. And all people can, a Muslim can have Sanatana Dharma, a Christian can have Sanatana Dharma, because Sanatana Dharma does not belong to any God, because Vedas don't proclaim God at all. If you see Om Bhurbuha Swaha Suryaya Namaha, Surya is a Shakti. Om Bhurbuha Swaha Agniya Namaha, Om Bhurbuha Swaha Vayuve Namaha. What is Vayu? Vayu is the lightning. Why do I do that? Prajapate Namaha. Ultimately I am doing it because I can't see that Shakti called God, so I am propitiating what he has created. What is wrong in it? That's the beauty of it. And that is what is important at the end of the day. And whether it's you're a doctor or anybody, you have the old Indian Sanatana Dharma which says, do you know what it says? It's all condensed in the Mahabharata. The Mahabharata is an epic, India's epic, which is unrivaled by anything. Odyssey, Homer, this, that, nothing. And in Mahabharata, Rajagopalacharya writes a beautiful commentary on the Mahabharata. Rajagopalacharya writes, I wrote, what is not in it is nowhere. See, what is not in it is nowhere. One sentence, that's all. That means Mahabharata has everything. It has passion, it has jealousy, it has hatred. It's, after all, what is Mahabharata, what is Odyssey, what is Iliad? All for a woman, you fight a war. But look at the Indian culture. That girl runs away with the enemy in Iliad, Homer's. But here, Sita comes back to her husband, Parvati comes back to her husband. That's the difference. So somebody said, a friend of mine used to say, Doctor, why read whole of Mahabharata? Just read 2 sentences, 2 words. What are they? Dharma kshetre, kuru kshetre. Now, cut it. Dharma plus kshetra, kuru plus kshetra. Rewrite it. Kshetre, kshetre, dharmam kuru. In every walk of life, do your dharma. Dharma is not religion. Dharma is your obligation to society. And if you did that, you will all be healthy. Poonam said, it's time up. Okay? Katam, she says. Do you know, when Thomas Jefferson became the President of the United States of America, he was known for long-winded speeches. His uncle called him, and Thomas, you become the President now. Take note. Stand up, speak up, and shut up. So I stood up. I thought I spoke up, and now I shall shut up. Because one of the people who talked here, I don't know who, said, while sound is good, silence is golden. It's in silence. You see, when you say Om, it is a silence which probably reaches the other end. And you really get happiness at that stage. So I don't think I should go on and on. And I know what you will all say when you go home. Why did Pramod call this idiot? Because, there was a parish priest, a friend of mine, who was going from place to place lecturing. One day he was to lecture in Nagpur. And he was staying in a hotel. Not this hotel, because there's no faucet. That being Sunday and there was no television, etc., he wrote a nice letter to his wife because he had left home and going around the world. And he wanted to post it. He came out, being a Sunday, he didn't know where the post office is. So there was urchins playing. He told them they didn't understand their language. So he said, can you take me to the post office? They said, come along. It's a holiday for us. We'll take you to the post office. They took him to the post office. He posted the letter. He was coming back. Then being a priest, he said, my God, these children have done something for me. I'm a spiritual human being, so I must do something in return. So he said, I'll buy some chocolates for them. Went to the shop and said, come on, give chocolates. The man gave chocolates. He put his hand in. The wallet was in the Ashok Hotel. So he said, my God, what can I do? So he told the children, sorry children, I forgot my wallet. But in this evening's lecture, it was arranged by Prabodh Charitable Trust, but it's not charity. This lecture of mine is money. You have to pay 100 rupees per lecture. I will give a note to Prabodh or Poonam. You take it and they will let you in free. So for showing me the post office, you have 2 free tickets. Children laughed. He said, why? Sir, there are a lot of fellows like B.M. Megde speaking, but listening is very difficult, sir. Who wants to listen? We have better things to do in the evening on a Sunday. But he said, no, I am talking on a very important thing because I am a priest. I am talking about spirituality. I am talking about God. I am talking about way to heaven. And he became emotional. Children burst out laughing. He said, why? Sir, a man who doesn't know the way to the post office, how can they know way to heaven? So my dear friends, spirituality is nothing very esoteric. We are all spirits, not spirits, but spirit. Spirits is what is available in the shop. Spirit comes from the word spirus in Latin, which is breath. So our ancestors, cave dwellers, knew one thing. An animal which they killed for eating did not breathe. A live animal breathed. So they hypothesized, just as we do an hypothesis, breath is a God who enters you and leaves you when you die. Which of course is not true, but then that is how the word spirituality was developed from that. Spirituality has nothing to do with religion. Absolutely nothing to do with religion. Spirituality simply is dealing with the spirit. That's a human being. And how do you deal with the human being? Because why do you deal with another human being? Because he is a part of you. Today, the greatest quantum physicist Max Planck says, consciousness is fundamental. Everything else is derived from that. So you are derived from the consciousness, I am derived from the consciousness, from the same consciousness. Supposing I want to hurt our chartered accountant, it hurts a part of my body. So I want to destroy him, my body gets destroyed by my own cells. That's called autoimmune disease. Me, you concept. Leave that me business, I business. Make it we business. And the day you leave the I and you become a we, you are fine. A Shishya went to a guru. He said, sir, I have come here. I want peace. I want peace. He was fighting. And the guru said, say that again. I want peace. He said, okay, say that without the I. Want peace, want peace. Now without the want, peace. See, there is peace. What is preventing peace? Want and then I. So let us leave I and want and live in this world as we. Thank you very much.